Time for another surprise keywords test. What is the definition for sustainable development? Can you give an example for a bonus mark? So sustainable development is development that takes into consideration the impact on the natural world for future generations. So for example, sometimes logging companies that cut down lots of trees, plant trees every time they cut one down to keep the forest going. It's time for another key to success. This is another Christian key rule, and it's dominion. Christians believe that they have got dominion over the planet. Now this belief comes from the fact that Christians were created in the image of God. This means that they've been given the right to rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. This is a quote from the Bible. What that means is that Christians think that they can basically do whatever makes them as comfortable as possible. I want you to think about how that belief might affect the way that they treat the planet. Answer this question, so pause your video and make sure that you're mentioning dominion in your answer. Hopefully, as your answer, you've written something along the lines of, belief in dominion means that Christians will treat the planet however they want. It may mean that they're not concerned about pollution or looking after the planet in terms of conservation, because if they are becoming as comfortable as they like, that is what God intended the planet to be there for. They believe that they've got the power to rule over everything on the planet, and because they're more important than other things, as they're created in the image of God, they've been given that right. One of the final things you need to know about for your exam are Earth summits. Now these are meetings of international leaders aimed at reaching a conclusion about how to reduce environmental pollution and climate change. They happen every 4 years, and one of the Earth summits happened in Kyoto in 2002. This summit set targets for all the world leaders who attended to use cleaner fuels, such as renewable energy sources, rather than fossil fuels, and reducing the amount of carbon dioxide emissions by doing things such as encouraging cycling, the use of public transport, and so on. Lots of countries signed up to these agreements, but few of them have met the targets that have been set by them. One of the most important things about the Earth Summits is that they're meetings of international leaders, so it means that people are taking international action. I want you to think about why it's important to have international action to try and protect the environment. Pause the video now and try to answer this question. Hopefully you've got an answer to that question which looks something like this. International action is an important way to try and protect the environment because it means that countries are working together. Protecting the environment will not work if only one country does it and others refuse to. So having agreements where countries work together will have a much bigger impact on the environment. You could give the example of the Kyoto Agreement if you are asked a question like this in your exam.